813-572-8646.
It's Tuesday morning from 6 till 8. Wow, it's Tuesday with Bob Plass.
Community Radio
89.5 WSKB.
Live from the campus of Westfield State University. This is 89.5 FM WSKB Westfield. And good morning, Westfield, and welcome to Superintendent Spotlight.
starring Zap and Chris, although this week, once again, Pete.
The stars have not aligned.
The stars are not aligned. If anybody, for all our listeners know, Superintendent Spotlight with Zap and Chris every Thursday morning, broadcasting live at 9 a.m. from the beautiful Tiger's Pride restaurant at WTA, and here at Westfield Tech. But Pete, I think Zap and I have had a real hard time keeping the band together for the last few months.
You guys have tough scheduling.
Yeah, we have. We either he's at something or I'm at something at 9 on Thursdays. So I think for next year, not that we don't appreciate the work of the co-hosts or the sub co-hosts, because they're phenomenal. In fact, I've got an outstanding co-host today.
Yeah, you do.
So
she's become. I remember the first time she was on ever. Scared out of her wits.
Right.
When it was Tiger Talk.
Right. Well, that's right. She's come a long way from then. And I'm very, very honored and proud and excited this morning.
Wow. Nice build-up. I like it.
Susan Dargy, our Director of Curriculum and Instruction, to be our co-host this week on Superintendent Spotlight. Good morning, Susan. How are we doing today?
Good morning, Mr. Rogers. Today is a big day for me. I am doing very well.
Great.
When the superintendent sent me an email asking if I could be the guest host with you today, I had two questions for him. The first one was, are all the other guest hosts unavailable today? And the second was, do you think I'm ready?
Yes.
And he tactfully declined to answer the first.
Question one, yes, that's a good.
And he said, you are ready, and I am excited to be here today.
I think you've done enough of it where you're fairly comfortable in the second chair.
Thank you.
And right now we're looking at a beautiful day outside, Pete. 68 degrees, not a cloud in the sky.
Chamber of Commerce weather, as it were.
Absolutely. We're going to get maybe a high of 77 today around 6 p.m. Tomorrow, though, time to get the air conditioners ready because we're looking at 86.
I know. I got to put mine in the window tonight.
Right, and 89 on Saturday. But then, of course, being New England the way New England is, Sunday looks like rain in 60s, Monday cloudy and 70.
Yeah. Nice weather to march in the parade. You won't get sunbaked, and there might be a little sprinkle to cool you down.
Absolutely. So, where in terms of the streak, where are we? Week 2, week 3?
2, I think it's 2.
So 2 great sunny Thursdays in a row.
Yes.
Awesome. Let's see if we can make it 3 in a row next week. Folks, really excited this week. We've got 4 guests with us. I'm excited, and I know Susan is too, because this is what we're going to talk about today. Has really been a 2-year work in progress in terms of some of the job shadowing that we're doing with Westfield High School and Westfield Tech, and some of the work we're doing with cooperation and collaborative partnerships with local area businesses, as well as the brand new revamped Career Center at Westfield High School. So I'm very excited today. We're going to introduce Mrs. Jamie Naughton from Westfield Gas and Electric. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Thank you for inviting me today.
Absolutely. Thanks for being here. Who else do we have with us on the show today?
Well, I'm Cam Davignon. I'm from Westfield High.
And I'm Morgan Spilsky. I'm a senior at Westfield High.
And my name is Andrea Sotomayor. I'm a Career Center Coordinator with Career Point.
Awesome. Thanks for everybody to be here. This is really an exciting time to be at in Westfield Public Schools for a lot of reasons. But kids, tell us a little bit about about some of the experiences you've had with job shadowing and how this started. And Jamie, maybe you can come in too and let us know what's going on your junior and senior year at the high school.
Yeah. So we were approached by our guidance counselor, Mrs. Bean, and she asked. Well, she knew we were interested in accounting, and that's of course what Jamie does. So she asked if we'd be interested in kind of going and seeing like a full day or what it's like, and we of course said yes. And just when the day we went there, it was a very good experience to be with her throughout everything she does in that morning. So that was good, yeah.
So I basically conducted the day so that they could learn about my background, because I did come from a private accounting firm.
Nice.
And then transferred. Actually, Westfield Gas and Electric was one of my clients when I was a public accountant. And so I started to work for them. And I had a great mentor when I was in public accounting. And it's just my opportunity now to give back to the community.
Absolutely.
And help other people with what I learned.
Jamie, did this all begin with your joining the WeTuba, Westfield Education to Business Alliance organization?
Yes, basically, I had started mentoring a little student from Highland. And with that, I was introduced to Mrs. Bean. And from that connection, she asked me if I was interested in doing some job shadowing to basically promote the future workforce.
Absolutely. And again, we bring up WeTuba because we talk about the collaboration between the school department and local area businesses, and it's all about getting our students ready for the workforce. And that's a lot of times you hear about being college and career ready, and I think we have a good understanding about what it is to be college ready, but what is it to be career and workforce ready? So, Morgan, do you want to talk a little bit about that too?
Yeah, of course. One of the great things about Jamie was that she was able to offer you the knowledge about going to college and then going into the workforce and actually having a lot of different experiences in the workforce, which for me, it's really close going to college. So I only really had that point of view from a college student, really, because that's only what's available at career fairs and college fairs and such. So it was super cool to have that all in one person, kind of.
Absolutely. So was this a one-day job shadow? All
yes,
right.
We did it for about a half of a day.
Yeah.
And of course, it always helps to have lots of questions so that I can explain what happened during my career choices in life. But what is great about it is it basically promotes a networking kind of relationship. So not only a mentoring kind of relationship where if they had any questions, they could reach out to me.
Absolutely.
But it also opens the doors for internships.
Right. Well, that was going to be kind of my follow-up is, it was a one-day piece or half-a-day piece, but you're making connections, you're networking a little bit, and then down the line, like Cam, you mentioned, and Morgan, you mentioned you're thinking about being accountants, right?
Yeah,
well,
possibly, yeah.
here's a great connection, right? To get in and get some hands, boots on the ground, get your hands dirty with it through an internship. I mean, that's outstanding.
Yeah, exactly. Every person that you're going to talk to that's in a business field is going to tell you how important networking is. So super excited to be able to get that head start and already have connections.
Awesome. Sounds great. So how did this all come about? I know Mrs. Bean kind of you said you were doing some mentoring with our students, which, by the way, we will give another shout out to Tina Macy in our VIPS department, Volunteers in Public Schools, because the mentoring program that is really blossoming through WeTuba, and we have a couple dozen mentors out working with our kids in our schools, and Mrs. Dargy being a mentor as well as myself. So that continues to go well. But it's interesting how that connection is kind of how this started.
Yeah.
So very nice. So do we have any other students job shadowing at G&E right now too?
So I did have 2 other high school students that came to shadow me before these two. We tried to do a full day, and without getting into the nuts and bolts of accounting, it does become a little difficult.
Right.
So I think the second time around, we kind of condensed it.
Sure.
And I think they got the best out of
Yeah,
it.
can we hear a little bit about the specifics, Cam? Something that was maybe eye-opening for you that you hadn't known or considered, or things you learned?
Yeah, sure. So I would say overall, it was very much like a question and answer kind of day. It wasn't nothing formal, just kind of learning about anything we had questions with that only someone who'd been in the field could answer. So I just say overall it was a very good primer on like accounting. If I wasn't considering it, even though I am, but it was something that it was eye-opening to see certain things that you'll only hear from someone who's been in the field. So that's what I would say.
For me, it was super helpful to hear kind of how her career flowed through and her colleagues' careers as well. It kind of helps me to be able to start to map out a career. Obviously, I don't have it all figured out yet. But
Oh no, and no one says you have to, and that's the great. And job shadowing has so many benefits. You may have gone there that day and said, "Wow, I really want to do this," or you may have gone there and said, I want nothing to do with that, right? So those are the workforce opportunities that we're trying to promote, through the district, is giving students an opportunity to see what could be a fit for them or what isn't a fit for them before they go to school and spend a ton of money on credits and then realize I don't want to do this.
Right, or what may be a fit right now or not, but down the road that changes, because unlike older individuals like
the two of
are
us
considered by some of our guests,
right,
who have one career path in their lifetime, our students that are graduating now will potentially have 8 different career paths,
which is amazing
in their life. Yes.
And does Career Point want to kind of chime in on that?
Well, I couldn't agree more with regards to shadowing. That's a perfect opportunity where I've had students go into an accounting firm and it's like, I don't want to do that. That's way too many numbers. And vice versa, when we place students within Holyoke Medical Center, they have the idea that that's what they want to get into, but then they're able to see, I want to go into oncology, not just the ER, things like that. So it not only helps you identify what you're interested in, but then it helps you specialize, like, okay, maybe this is what I really want to get into. And then as well as internships, because that's a beautiful opportunity to take what you're learning in the classroom and then actually put it forth to an actual place. Within Westfield High School, we're going to have like a prep system. So students have to complete a checklist before they actually go out onto any internships. Do you have a resume? Have you done a mock interview? Have you walked into the office with professional attire? What is responsibility? What is time management? Things like that. So just making sure that the students are prepared before they even go into the sites that they're going to be going into.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. So we're time for our first break. 68 degrees and sunny. Again, Superintendent Spotlight broadcasting live from Tigers Pride at WTA. We'll be right back.
Was the Support for community radio on WSKB is provided by Betts Plumbing and Heating Supply Company, an independent, family-owned wholesaler serving Westfield for over 50 years, specializing in plumbing, heating, and industrial piping supplies. On the web at bettsplumbing.com or at 14 Coleman Avenue in Westfield.
Underwriting support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by the Greater Westfield Chamber of Commerce, the voice of business for the Greater Westfield communities. Informing, educating, advocating, the Chamber provides opportunities for members to make meaningful connections on local, regional, and state levels. For more information on the Chamber's many events, workshops, and programs, as well as the benefits of membership, visit westfieldbiz.org. The Chamber focuses on the most important economy, yours. Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by Commercial Distributing Company of Westfield. Now in its third generation of family ownership, Commercial is one of the premier beverage distributors of Western Massachusetts. The Plasek family and the staff of Commercial Distributing wishes you good times throughout the year and urges you to drink responsibly. We thank the generosity of our underwriters. For more information, please contact the Westfield State Foundation at 413-572-8646.
Wednesday mornings from 6 till 8, it's Tina Gorman with Wake Up Wednesday.
Community Radio, 89.5 WSKB.
Live from the campus of Westfield State University, this is 89.5 FM, WSKB, Westfield.
Their energy for on.
And we're back with Superintendent Spotlight with Zap and Chris, broadcasting live from beautiful downtown Westfield, the Tiger's Pride Restaurant and Westfield Technical Academy, 9:28 on Thursday, May 24th. Nearly 70 degrees and beautiful sunny skies in the good old city of Westfield. Mrs. Dargy, we've got some stuff going on in our public schools over the next couple of weeks, don't we?
We do. It is concert season, and it is a time to showcase the musical talents of our students. I had the pleasure of attending the Westfield High School Spring Band concert last night. So many talented musicians under the direction of Patrick Kennedy.
And 2 nights ago, I had the pleasure of attending South Middle School's, what was going to be their concert on the green, on the lawn, but of course
The weather
rained
didn't
out,
cooperate.
so we were inside, but really outstanding work in performances by 6th, 7th, and 8th grade bands and choruses. Brandon Babin, the band director, and Dave Gomes, chorus. It was. I haven't been to a middle school show that good since I was the principal in North Middle. It was outstanding, and that's a while ago.
So
Nice job.
if you have not had the opportunity to attend one of our concerts, we have several that you may choose from. May 30th, the Westfield High School Spring Chorus Concert is at 7 p.m. May 31st, Franklin Avenue Spring Concert, that would be band and chorus, 6 p.m. Russell Elementary School will have their spring concert on June 4th at 6:30, and that is held right here in the Westfield Technical Academy in the auditorium. June 5th, Paper Mill Spring Concert, featuring chorus and band, will be held at 6:15. Munger Hill Spring Concert on June 6th at 6:30, and June 7th, Abner Gibbs at 6:15. Be sure to check one of these concerts out. You will not be sorry.
No, and absolutely, and we talk about it on the show quite a bit. The amazing instrumental and choral programs, the music programs that we have throughout the district. Outstanding work by everybody. Congratulations! And as I told a colleague the other day, when we get to this point in the spring with our music programs, their spring concerts they're wrapping up their year. It is their MCAS. It is their time to shine. It's their time to show what they do, and our kids do a phenomenal job. And speaking of our kids doing a phenomenal job, again, we are broadcasting live from Tiger's Pride Restaurant here at Westfield Technical Academy. What's for lunch, Mrs. D?
Well, lunch today at Tiger's Pride will also not disappoint.
I'm so bummed because I'm missing this one. The first entree, I was like, oh, man.
This is a good one,
Yeah.
too. For soups, we have creamy broccoli cheddar or mulligatawny soup.
Wow.
You could have a garden salad or balsamic chicken salad, grilled balsamic chicken salad, that is. The entrees today are bacon-wrapped Salisbury steak
Yes.
and baked stuffed pollock fillet.
Either one is like,
It's a hard
I
decision.
may be changing my lunch plans.
Yeah, right.
Instead of the egg whites and almonds I was going to eat, I may be heading down here.
By the way, also, Westfield Technical Academy has their car show, which was rescheduled from last weekend to this Saturday from 10 to 2.
Right. So again, we want to shout out the culinary department here at WTA. They really do an amazing job, folks. It's one of the best deals in town. I believe there's a buffet tomorrow too, right, Pete? Am I correct?
I think so, yeah.
Yes.
I think so, yeah.
So, again, getting back to our guests, and again, we are really excited to have Jamie Naughton from Westfield Gas and Electric. We're excited to have a couple of our kids from Westfield High School, as well as Zandria from Career Point. Zandria, I'm going to turn it over to you for a few minutes because I really want you to let our listeners know what's going on with the Career Point and with the Reed Career Center at Westfield High School. We've got some really exciting things happening.
Absolutely. It's been a short time, but a lot has happened. We also work with WeTuba. During the actual job fair, Daisha was able to speak with the juniors and have that immediate conversation about, are you interested in an internship next year? This is what we're going to be looking for, and this is the criteria, and then that's how we're going to get started.
Zandria, just so for our listeners' benefit, who did you just mention there?
So Daisha Serrano is the actual coordinator of the Career Center, of the Reed Career Center at Westfield High School.
Nice.
So aside from introducing herself to the juniors, she's actually had information sessions on anybody who's interested for internships next year as well. She's working one-on-one within Naviance to make sure students get all of that created, and that's the platform that they use for career cluster or career inventory within Westfield schools. And just starting that preparedness before they even jump into their senior year, which is amazing. We also are going to work with the Chamber of Commerce. So this summer is going to be really the hard outreach to the business community in regards to, can we do a job shadow? Are internships possible? And then kind of getting their feedback on placements that we can have for the students.
And Zandria, how would businesses that are listening today and want to get in and get a jump on this, how would they contact Daisha?
So Daisha's email is DSERRANO at careerpointma.org. Again, that's DSERRANO at careerpointma.org.
Awesome. So I believe very recently the Career Center kind of had a grand reopening.
It did. I was fortunate to be able to attend that reopening and hear a very motivational speech made by Secretary Acosta of the Office of Labor and Workforce Development. We also heard from the Reed family, and they gave an additional donation. So much work was done in preparation of the grand reopening, and I think students here today took part in that.
Yeah, for FBLA, which is the Future Business Leaders of America.
We're going to stop right there because Cam we just had an acronym, FBLA, and Cam explained it to the listeners without any prompting from us. Great job.
I know. Usually, you see that the professionals on this side talk in acronyms.
Right.
And I sat there and went, first thing I said, stop. You need to explain all those because if I don't know what you're talking about, they don't either.
So say that one more time.
So a club we have at our school is FBLA, which is Future Business Leaders of America. Morgan and I are both part of that. And for the Career Center, just before, we cleaned out, we helped clean out the Career Center just in preparation for what the main work that was going to be done. But that's one of the fundraising things our community service activities we participated in through our club.
And we very much appreciated that because after you guys had cleaned up, we painted and then we had to reorganize. So thank you very much for that help.
I want to clarify one thing, though, before Morgan jumps in. You said you were members of FBLA. You might be underselling it a little bit, right, Morgan? You want to jump in on that for me?
We are officers of our FBLA chapter.
Are you the founding members of our FBLA chapter?
We are.
I would say.
Yes.
Through one of our advisors, we found out about FBLA, and from there, we joined other students, and Cameron and I are officers of it.
And who is the advisor of FBLA?
The two business teachers that we have at Westfield High, which are Miss Allison Sawyer and Mrs. Nicole Stratton.
Excellent. So what do we do? What does FBLA do, and what have you been doing with it at the site?
FBLA is a national nonprofit organization that focuses on strengthening the bond between education and local businesses, which is a huge goal of Career Point. So although I'll be graduated, I won't be there to see it, I do look forward to that relationship blossoming and really strengthening each other.
You can always come back. We are more than happy to work with alumni as well.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, so just within FBLA, our main function this year was to make it to the State Leadership Conference, which was at Bentley University in April. So pretty much the whole year we focused on a lot of fundraising and just kind of organizing ourselves and preparing for the Leadership Conference. So it was, like I said, at Bentley University. And on that day, we were able to hear from other chapters in the state, because it's a nationwide organization, but of course there's the Massachusetts part of it. So yeah, at that State Leadership Conference, we heard from the national officers as well as the state officers, and then we were also able to participate in some competitive events where we could actually earn scholarship money or proceed on to nationals, which is the goal of some of our members now, including myself.
Which Cam and I both did. And Cam, how many awards did you win?
I won 3. I was.
That's it?
Yeah.
He was killing the game.
Yeah.
Well, tell us about it, because we want to hear. No, truly, in all seriousness, you mentioned fundraising. You mentioned those competitions. Give us an example of some of those things. You've given us a nice overview, but hit some specifics for us.
So in the state of Massachusetts, I placed second in financial literacy, the competition that I took. It
Excellent.
was a 100-question online test that I took. There are competitions that are performance-based, like Cam did a job interview one.
Awesome.
Which was,
Yeah.
And then since we qualified, we get to go to the national conference, which is in Baltimore. We need to fundraise for that.
Okay, I was going to say, so that's where some of the fundraising comes in.
We're working on it right now.
So when is the conference in Baltimore?
It is June 28th through July 1st.
Awesome.
I think, something like that, right around there in Baltimore, Maryland. Yeah, and we're still doing as much fundraising as we can whenever we have time. We have one member, Eric Gregorian, who actually made it to nationals for the what was it called?
The video aspect.
Yeah, it's like digital marketing or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And he made this spectacular video. We've been using that for a lot of our fundraising efforts. So it's going well so far.
Eric Gregorian also won our school a $10,000 grant from his videos.
Was that was Stop the Swerve?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
We saw that Monday night at the school committee meeting.
Yep.
Just incredible stuff Eric is doing. Just
he's a great,
amazing stuff.
Super excited
Great
for him. I think he has
cinematographer,
a great chance.
Oh,
I would say.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, Cam, Morgan kind of let us know that you won three competitions. What were they, my friend?
So I placed second in accounting, which is obviously something I'm interested in. So I think that went hand in hand with that. I placed third in job interview, which was the accounting, and then I also placed fourth in financial literacy, personal finance. So the accounting and the personal finance ones were, like Morgan said, it was an online test before the day of the conference, and then you just got awarded there based on how you did. But the job interview was actually had a performance aspect at the conference. So there I went into a room and had a mock interview, if you will. They gave me all the information before. I had to prepare a resume, a cover letter, and all that stuff, and just be ready for this interview, and I placed third in that. So.
Congratulations. And Andrea, you mentioned that, I think, on the last segment about some of the skills that Career Point, working with the Career Center, and I see Jamie nodding over there, about things that we are trying to make sure our students are aware of as they move on into the workforce. And from someone, and Mrs. Dargy can tell you this too, for someone who's been on both sides of the interview table, and as I get older, I'm normally on this side asking the questions as opposed to receiving them, there are certain things employers are looking for when a candidate comes to interview.
Absolutely. I think the biggest thing is nervousness that can get in the way of students. I actually Daisha did her actual mock interviews the same day that I had mine at Dean Tech, so she had juniors facilitate that mock interview with the business community. But in regards to like preparation, we have what's called like a pocket guide, and that's kind of our go-to. It lists out what you should do before an interview, questions you may be asked, questions you should be asking. Has a space for you to write down your references on it. So it's just kind of, it encompasses everything that we do with the students all in one small pocket guide. So when it comes to communicating properly, making sure you know at least 5 of your skills to make sure that you can say them with confidence, things of that nature, and then being able to not just say these are my skills, but then give examples of how you use those skills. So
awesome.
And I will add that when these 2 students came to the gas and electric, they knocked everybody's socks off.
Nice.
They were so professional. They were able to communicate with a wide variety of people. And I just was thoroughly impressed of these 2 students.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you very much.
No, and we are too. And amazingly, we're at the opportunity now for our second break. And when we come back, Pete, on a gorgeous 70-degree day here in Westfield, we'll talk a little bit of sports, and then we'll wrap up with more time with our kiddos who are going to tell us about what they've got planned going forward.
Support for community radio on WSKB is provided by Betts Plumbing and Heating Supply Company, an independent, family-owned wholesaler serving Westfield for over 50 years, specializing in plumbing, heating, and industrial piping supplies. On the web at betsplumbing.com or at 14 Coleman Avenue in Westfield. WSKB's programming is generously underwritten by Whip City Fiber, Westfield Gas and Electric, where they offer gigabit internet speed. Whip City Fiber, turning Westfield's neighborhoods into fiberhoods. On the web at whipcityfiber.com. Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by the Barnes & Noble College Bookstore in the Ely Campus Center, offering Westfield State t-shirts, sweatshirts, and gift merchandise, all of your academic needs, and offering textbook materials in new, used, ebook, and rental formats. Available at the bookstore on campus or online at westfieldState.bncollege.com.
We thank the generosity of our underwriters. For more information, please contact the Westfield State Foundation at 413-572-8646.
Wednesday mornings from 6 till 8, it's Tina Gorman with Wake Up Wednesday.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
Live from the campus of Westfield State University, this is 89.5 FM, WSKB, Westfield.
And we are back with Superintendent Spotlight with Zap and Chris, broadcasting live from WTA in downtown Westfield. Our weekly look at local and national sports. Baseball, Westfield High School Bombers 10-5 right now. Westfield Tech boys 9-7. Girls softball, Westfield High School at 7-10. Westfield Tech at 6-3. Excellent work from both baseball and softball squads. Westfield High School boys lacrosse looking really strong at 9-3. Gentlemen, keep up the good work. Girls looking almost as solid at 9-7. Keep up the good work. You're both tournament bound in Western Mass. Our boys volleyball team, an outstanding P18-1. There is a 1 there now, but it's still incredible.
I know. And it wasn't a Minichog.
Right, it's incredible. Boys tennis right now at 2-0. Girls tennis at 2-3. Coming up, or rather for yesterday's results, Westfield Technical Academy boys baseball really taking it to Duggan Academy 15-1. Girls
and a
varsity
great pitching. Mr.
yes.
Sullivan, nice pitching job.
Absolutely. Complete game. Westfield High School girls softball beating Longmeadow in 6 innings, 15-0. Our boys lacrosse team, they facing their rival Longmeadow, did get beat yesterday 16-12, but that is always back and forth between those two
Longmeadow's
squads.
one of the best programs in Western
Absolutely.
Mass.
We talked about boys volleyball briefly, but again, what a season they're having. They defeated Minichog 3-0 yesterday. And we've got a lot going on, today, tomorrow, and over Memorial Day break. Westfield High girls softball taking on Longmeadow. Boys varsity tennis taking on St. Mary's. There's also the boys varsity track Division I Central and West a meet going on. Same with the girls as well. So there's quite a bit happening, with spring sports. They're winding down a lot of our teams at both the high school and tech looking to qualify for Western Mass. So again, hats off to our outstanding athletic programs. Shout out to the Boston Celtics, right? It took a 3-2 lead over the Cleveland Cavaliers last night with their 96-83 victory.
One shout out to 3 Westfield baseball seniors over at Pope that had their senior game on Saturday.
Absolutely.
At Forest Park.
Absolutely. So the Celtics 1 game away Friday night, taking on the Cavs, hopefully closing out that series. Stanley Cup Finals are set, Pete. We've got the Caps, who won 4-0 over Tampa Bay last night. They'll take on Las Vegas Golden Knights, the expansion Golden Knights.
Cinderella story in the NHL.
It is. Some of the guys that are on that club have never played in a playoff game in their lives before this career at the professional level. So hats off to both of those squads Monday night in Vegas. And yes, it's time for our weekly look into the American League East standings. Boston Red Sox in first place.
Seems to have changed from last week.
Well, like I said, the Yankees have lost 2 games in a row to Texas, no less. The Yankees had won 8 straight series before last night, which is the longest streak since 1998 for them, which, by the way, coincidentally, they won the World Series that that year as
See,
well.
he's all into the stats,
Right.
trying to make sense of this, and I've been saying the same thing since preseason, since camp.
Right. It's going
It's
going
gonna
to
be
all
nip and
summer
tuck
long.
all season
and
long.
into the fall. I mean, the Sox are loaded. What a fantastic ball club they have at 34-15, and my beloved Bronx Bombers right there, a game and a half out. So it's going to be a great
As it
wild summer.
should be.
Well, but again, keep in mind our last show, I believe, Pete, is going to be the week before school gets out. Mrs. Dargy, do you have the list of when our last shows are? You gave that back to me?
you.
I thought you guys are going to the end of June.
Actually, we are. I was going to say we're gonna go till June 28th, but by that point, we'll have a pretty good idea where things are shaking out. But like you said, it's going to go all summer long.
Yeah, it's going to be like that.
And,
for the
and
entire
speaking
summer.
about how things are going to shake out and roll out, we've got, like I said, we've been talking all morning with a couple of outstanding students. And Mrs. Dargy, as we transition and as our schools shift, our elementary is now becoming K-4, our middle school, our intermediate school at 5-6, and our middle for grades 7 and 8, we do have some school choice opportunities.
We do. So if you are parents who have students that attend other schools and you would like your students to have some of these opportunities that we've been talking about today, you can complete a school choice application. We have openings in grades 5 through grade 12 for next year, and those applications can be found on our district website.
So if your student currently does not go to school in Westfield Public Schools, but you're interested in, like Mrs. Dargy said, in some of these great opportunities, feel free to fill out a school choice application. And having two of our finest students with us this morning, we've had some really some rich, outstanding conversation about some of the things they're doing with Future Business Leaders of America, with job shadowing at the G&E, as well as just the day-to-day operations at Westfield High School. But Cam and Morgan, do you want to give our listeners a little bit of an update, a little bit of an idea of what you're thinking beyond graduation, Morgan? And Cam, I know you've got one more year at WHS.
Yep.
Yeah, of course. So come the fall, I'll be attending UMass Dartmouth for accounting.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I've been accepted to the honors program there. I'm super excited about that.
Absolutely.
And when I get there, I hope to continue soccer and softball, maybe not at the team level, but intramural level. And I'd love to bring the collegiate FBLA to my school. I'd love to see that there.
Wow. Awesome. Cam?
And yeah, so for me, I'm just a junior right now, so I still have one more year at Westfield High. I play baseball right now, and in the fall I run cross country. So.
Well, and I was going to say, we have a baseball and a softball player with us today, and we did shout out both of those teams. Both close to, and baseball will qualify for Western Mass, and girls softball right on the cusp about being able to do that too. And I know we're really going into sports segment 3 here, but how's the season shaking out for both of you right now?
We've definitely had our ups and downs. We've been on kind of a streak lately. We did play Minnetonka the other day, and they ruined our streak a little bit.
Well, they're tough.
They are.
They're tough.
They have a great program.
They
They
do.
always have. We're graduating 9 seniors this year, so next year it'll definitely be a rebuilding year, as this year kind of was. We did graduate 11 last year, so.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with a roller coaster season for us as well. Didn't start off too hot, but had a good winning streak there in the middle. Our last 2 games on our senior night, well, not my senior night, but on the senior night we beat Amherst, and then last night we just beat Minnetonka. So
absolutely,
we're doing good going into nearing the postseason.
Well, and keep that in mind too. It's not how you start; it's how you finish. And
Absolutely.
if you're getting hot in time for the tournament, that's always that's how you want to be going in. Without question.
I agree.
Without question. And as the weather warms up, right? So as Westfield High Schools play.
Yes.
So
Exactly.
nice to see.
Exactly.
I do have a question. What kind of started you guys in accounting? Where did that stem from?
Mine definitely started from FBLA and Miss Allison Sawyer, who is one of our advisors. She was an accountant for many years, and just through talking with her, she definitely got me interested in it. I knew I wanted to go into some business field, but I wasn't exactly sure where.
Mm-hmm.
The way that Miss Sawyer and others, such as Jamie, have explained it to me is that accounting is going to open so many more doors than a lot of the other business majors that I could go into. So that's definitely what interests me about accounting, all the opportunity that could come from it.
So for me, since I would say about 8th grade or maybe freshman year, I knew I've always had this idea of wanting to go into business. It's just something that seemed like a good fit for me. And then last year, my sophomore year, I actually took Accounting 1 at my high school, which was a full year class. And I really enjoyed it. I was successful in it, and I thought it was something that I could see myself doing. And I'm not sure that I'm necessarily going to go into that, but just definitely business. And I know, as Morgan was saying, accounting, it applies in everything. And I think knowing about it, it would be really important in any sort of business, even if you're not the accountant for the business necessarily.
Absolutely.
So
That's what I love about business, is that I still feel like you can go into any field, because everywhere needs accountants, everywhere needs managers and such.
Oh,
Right.
absolutely.
Thank you for sharing. I think that it's amazing that you guys already kind of have an idea, and even though you're still on the fence about it, but some students don't always have that.
Correct.
Daisha did a junior symposium at HCC, which is actually nice. They got to go to different programs or different majors, and so I believe it was 12 students altogether, and she was so proud of them because they were so well behaved and they were asking questions, they were engaged. At one point, I know that they were doing skits on stage for one of the majors. So I think that it's amazing that you guys already know, and that there's an opportunity for other students to get ideas of where to go after high school.
Right.
So, Zandria, could you talk a little bit about the future plans for the Career Center?
Yes.
You said the summer is going to be a really big time for getting ready for next year. What are some of the things we can look forward to?
Absolutely. So Daisha took the time to send out surveys to all students to say, what do you have thus far? Do you have resumes? Kind of just to gauge what she could bring to the table for the students, on top of what's already been provided to the students, to kind of see where they're at, where they want to be, and then also for the juniors, who's interested in internships, and then where, because this summer is going to be really big for outreach to the business community about getting the placements. So preparing the students in the beginning of the year, but then also having the placements already set for them. I'm going to assume that she's going to continue with the symposium for the students that are continuing on, and then just working with the guidance department on what's happening. So anytime WeTube was doing the job fairs, helping out with that. So being a helping hand in any way that she possibly can.
Nice.
Very nice. Well, I want to thank everybody for being our guest this week, and I really do want to shout out both Career Point and Westfield Gas and Electric for working so wonderfully with our students and our faculty, and we really value you as community partners and really helping to try to get our students ready, not just for college but for career and beyond. Like I said, and we're really excited about some of these opportunities. I know, I speaking from as an educator with this kind of experience, to see the direction that we're moving in is really, really exciting.
It is, yes. And I'd like to thank you for being such great guests on my debut as a host. You made it very, very easy, so thank you.
Absolutely. So, folks, you've been listening to Superintendent Spotlight with Zap and Chris. 10 o'clock on a beautiful 70-degree sunny day in downtown Westfield. Have a great week, everybody. We'll see you soon.
Live from the campus of Westfield State University, this is 89.5 FM, WSKB, Westfield.